The question says that how women address global challenges and how I speak about that in my book. I think women go through a lot of challenges during their lifetime as a mother, as a homemaker, and as a career woman. And in that process, what happens is that they are challenged constantly by different traditions, by societal norms, and by media conditioning. In all that creates a chaos in their personal lives on how far they can stretch themselves. So the book talks about that why it is important to question traditions, norms, cultures, and come up with your own definition, your own version, your own brand of success in order to achieve a meaningful life. The name itself suggests that if you don't confront it, then you cannot conquer it. What happens in our society is that we try to kind of shrug away from these kind of challenging aspects and arguments, and at the end we end up being part of the conformity cycle. Breaking the glass ceiling, I think there is a term that we use for the corporate world. We use it for the corporate ladder. I think we need women at home must be brought to the attention when we are talking about progress and development. And what is the role that plays in terms of economic value system, and how much price tag have we attached in the past? Because we do talk a lot about career development, corporate representation, political representation, but we forget that the place of women, if we design and if we see it in the home of how much work she is trying to put, and if we bring that to the attention of the men and change their mindset, then of course we may be able to create that kind of compromise, that kind of coming in between, to create, to bring that value domain to the success, to the overall success of the society. Teach our young women from a very early age to question traditions, norms, societal values, and also basically a lot of things that they are given by cultural conditioning, have the tools to question them. Then what happens is that in this process they realize that they have defined a unique definition of their being, which is worthy, which is purposeful, and gives them the contentment tools to pass it on to their children to live a very happier and meaningful life. From a very early age is that they don't have to look back when they are 40, when they are 35, and question that whether that was a script that was their own, or they followed something out of conformity, after following a societal procedure, out of following a societal value system that was kind of bombarded by media conditioning, and what was more popular rather than significant in their life. I'm trying to connect how women need to understand their own position. And one of the things that you mentioned about domestic violence, if we see the root of domestic violence, it is grounded in cultures. Why women don't speak about it? Because their mom went through the same cycle and she was quiet. So the daughter starts keeping quiet, considering that that is the way to live her life with her husband. So when you start giving the tools to question regarding their self-esteem, self-respect, then that kind of practice stops there. And the women seeks from their spouse, their partners, that this is not the way she is going to be tolerating life or embracing life. So the book does talk about a lot that are that end up in societal issues. Understood that how strong it is when men support women. So when you talk about how men can become part of this equation and how they can support and sustain it, I think it is very, very significant, like He for She campaign at the UN that has recently been, Emma Watson is taking very big platform on it and inviting a lot of men to be spokesperson. Important it is for all of us to change not only the perspective, the way women think, but also change the mindset of the men. So it is a parallel effort in terms of, because we cohabitate this planet, and women and men, I have never seen as a battle of genders. I've always seen it as a family empowerment, as a societal empowerment, because we are supposed to be living together here, not